Breaking news about the Detroit Lions. You won't believe what just happened. Stay until the end to check out all the details of this incredible update before everyone else. But before I tell you this big news, I need your help. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This makes all the difference, so we can continue to bring you all the updates on the Detroit Lions firsthand, without missing any details of the team's moves. Our goal this month is to reach 2,000 subscribers, so click the subscribe button and strengthen the channel. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to this bombshell news. The NFL market is busy, but an elite defensive player is still available. Trey Hendrickson. The Cincinnati Bengals pass rusher has requested a trade, and even after free agency, his future remains uncertain. Could the Detroit Lions, who have surprisingly yet to make a major move to bolster their defensive line, be a destination for the Pro Bowl talent? Sports Illustrated insider Albert Breer has an update that could excite Lions fans. In a mailer, he was asked about the possibility of Hendrickson wearing a Detroit jersey, and his response did not rule it out. According to Breer, the Bengals want at least a second-round pick to release Hendrickson. However, the player's market value and high salary, over $30 million per year, make such a trade complex. Still, with the Lions in the late round, giving up that pick may be a bit more feasible. The big sticking point? How this potential acquisition would impact Aiden Hutchinson's future contract negotiations. In addition to Breer, Diana Rossini of The Athletic also suggested that Hendrickson's high price tag has cooled the market. This begs the question: have the Lions already made a move behind the scenes, or are they simply satisfied with their current options at the position? General Manager Brad Holmes has made it clear that elite players are hard to find, but at the same time, he has avoided names that are affordable in free agency, such as Josh Sweat, Khalil Mack, and Joey Bosa. This approach suggests that if Detroit wants a big-name addition, it will have to pay a high price, whether in draft capital or financially. While Lions fans are eager for a big-money move, there is a real possibility that the team will choose to draft its defensive line in the future. The team's biggest acquisition so far has been cornerback DJ Reed, and Holmes' conservative stance could indicate a greater focus on the draft. Breer noted that the 2025 draft is loaded with talent at the edge rusher position, which could lead Detroit to bolster its pass rush without spending any picks on a trade. With the 28th and 60th picks in the draft, the Lions could invest heavily in defense, and down the road, be seen as strategic for that decision. Additionally, the recent release of Zadarius Smith could be a sign of change to come, but not necessarily via trade or free agency. Ultimately, the Trey Hendrickson saga has yet to conclude. Whether the Lions are willing to make a bold move or opt for a draft pick remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure: the search for an elite pass rusher continues, and Detroit is keeping an eye on the opportunities. Do you think the Detroit Lions should pay the high price to bring in Trey Hendrickson, or would they be better off investing in the draft to bolster their pass rush? Hendrickson's arrival could instantly elevate the Lions' defense, bringing in an elite pass rusher to pressure opposing quarterbacks. However, given the high cost of a trade and the impact on Aiden Hutchinson's future contract, it may be a better strategy to invest in the draft, where there is a strong class of defensive backs available. If Detroit can bolster its defensive line without compromising its financial future, that could be the smartest move in the long run. But if the team believes it is just one piece away from the Super Bowl, investing heavily in Hendrickson could be a risk worth taking. The Detroit Lions appear to be taking a strategic path in free agency, avoiding major investments at defensive end. Despite growing fan expectations that General Manager Brad Holmes will make a more aggressive move, the team appears comfortable with the pieces it has on its roster, at least for now. The recent release of Zadarius Smith and the re-signing of Marcus Davenport to a one-year deal indicate that the team is opting for players with low financial risk, although Davenport's injury history is a real concern for a team with legitimate playoff ambitions. However, one name still on the market could represent a valuable addition to Kelvin Shepard's defense. That's former New York Giants wideout Azeez Ojulari, who entered the league as a second-round pick in the 2021 draft and has shown flashes of talent throughout his career. In 4 seasons in the NFL, he accumulated 22 sacks and 37 quarterback hits, respectable numbers for a player whose career has been hampered by injuries. Last season, despite playing in only 11 games, he managed to record 6 sacks, showing that he still has the potential to be a productive pass rusher. Ojulari's situation on the market has also attracted the attention of other teams. The Cincinnati Bengals, for example, showed interest in the defender before opting for a 1-year contract with Joseph Ossai. This indicates that, despite his physical limitations and recurring injury problems, Ojulari is still seen as a player with potential to contribute. His medical history, however, raises doubts. Even before entering the NFL, he recovered from a torn ACL suffered in high school. As a professional, he lost playing time due to problems with his toe, ankle, and hamstring. For the Lions, the main question may not only be the player's durability, but also his ability to contribute against the ground game. According to Pro Football Focus, Ojulari received a grade of 60.1 for his performance against the run, in addition to a worrying 30.6 rating in the tackle category. As a pass rusher, his performance was also not the best, receiving a grade of 54.6. These numbers indicate that, despite being an explosive player with good tools to pressure the quarterback, he may not perfectly fit the profile that the Detroit Lions are looking for. The philosophy of the Detroit coaching staff has always been clear. Before earning the right to rush the quarterback, a defender needs to prove that he can be effective against the run. Kelvin Shepherd himself has already highlighted the importance of adapting the scheme to the qualities of the available players. In an interview with Lions on SI, the defensive coordinator said, "We've played about 4 different variations of defense over the last 4 years, and that's because of the personnel available. It's not my scheme. I know what I want, but if it's not in the room, we have to adapt and adjust." To me, a great coach recognizes what his players do well, what his coaching staff does well, and puts those guys in the best positions possible without making it personal, because this is a player-driven league. With that approach, the Lions may be hesitant to add Ojulari to the roster. While his talent as a pass rusher is undeniable, his limitations against the run and injury concerns may weigh more heavily on the final decision. In the meantime, fans are eagerly awaiting to see if Brad Holmes makes any further moves to bolster the defense before the season starts. Do you think the Lions should sign Azeez Ojulari to bolster the pass rush, even with his limitations against the run and injury history? Yes or no? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. In my humble opinion, Ojulari is talented and could be an important factor in putting pressure on the quarterback, but his physical fragility and difficulties against the ground game raise doubts. Detroit needs a consistent pass rusher, but is he the best option available? Leave your comment. We want to know what you, Lions fan, think about this possibility. Now that we have reached the end of this news, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. This will be very important for our growth. Until next time.